Oh shit. This is boots on the ground, baby. No advanced movement. Let's go. Fuck! So back on the 17th, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was finally revealed to the world. The entire Call of Duty community gathered around in one place to find out if the future of the franchise was either going to take off or nosedive. Now make no mistake about it, Treyarch knows just how much is truly riding on this game. The pressure is high. Now I think people around the community will agree with me when I say that our confidence in both Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer games could not be lower. Now that's a lie because their next COD could be set on Mars, and we could be fighting flying aliens with mind powers, which would set the bar at an all-time low, but nevertheless, their games have been mediocre. Ever since Call of Duty Ghosts, we've been going downhill, at least in my opinion, so Treyarch has always been the one throughout history to always seem to get it right, or at least put out the best and most polished product. Now, some news broke recently saying that a bunch of original Infinity Ward devs were returning to the studio for Modern Warfare 4, and that has me a bit optimistic that the next game that they make will return to how they used to feel, but that remains to be seen. It's a long way off. As far as this reveal goes, I am actually incredibly excited. Now, let me get into exactly why I think you should be too. Now, first off, if you're an Overwatch or a Rainbow Six Siege player, this must be exciting for you. The game has essentially gone from a mindless 6v6, no teamwork, arcade-style shooter that a lot of people laugh at for being too kiddie or too simple, to a game that will actually, hopefully, if they do it right, require the players on each team to coordinate in order to win, like they do in both Overwatch and Siege. I think for me, personally, this touches on a big issue that I've had with these games. There often feels like there's no point to even having a team, and I'm often left with complete idiots that have no idea what they're doing and don't play the objective one bit. This makes the game incredibly stale, and I don't play for long sessions like I used to. Now, the Call of Duty model has always been built around this simple idea of picking up the controller, joining in, and shooting the other guys. The idea was generally just supposed to be that easygoing game that didn't require a lot of thinking, but it was fun. Treyarch could have gone that direction again, but BO3, without the boost jumps, in my opinion, would have made it one of, if not the best Call of Duties ever. But they decided to go this direction. They opted to redesign the makeup of what multiplayer is and change it to a more competitive feel. I think, at least from what I've seen, that this is the biggest overhaul of Call of Duty multiplayer in history, easily. Now, to address the crowd who have worries about this change, I completely understand and actually share a bit of those same feelings. There's an issue that some players have with this new change because they feel like an experience on BO4 without a party of your friends wouldn't be nearly as good. If a game revolves around communication and just overall coordination with your teammates, and you don't have anyone in your party with you, that on the surface seems like it would be a broken experience. But I think Treyarch has thought of that, definitely, and will still design it in a way where it's fun for solo players as well. There will be plenty of times where I'm by myself and I want to grind out the game, so I'd like to see it designed in such a way where it's still fun for the solo player. I also think that the change to a Siege-type game can be a little troublesome when you're talking about entering a community like Call of Duty. Again, this is a community that has always played a game that at its core and throughout its multiplayer design was always very simple. So when you add something in like one specialist per team, I think there's going to be some issues with how that's received. I can see people backing out of games because they don't get the specialist that they want. What if a player needs to do some challenges for a specialist and it's not available a lot of the times? How will that play out? We see this in Siege a little bit, with there being certain challenges for operators from time to time, and it's not a problem if you're in a party. Usually, unless your friends are assholes, they'll let you pick the operator that you need to do for the challenges. Also, I never really noticed players backing out in Siege because of an operator pick, but there is a team kill issue when the new operators come out, so obviously there's immature kids on both sides. To get into some specifics, I really like a lot of the things that I saw in the trailer. The self-heal, from what I've seen from people who've played it, isn't going to be a pain in the ass to do. I think even it makes the dynamic of gameplay even better. Because now you're in control of healing, and that can lead to some pretty cool moments where you're tagged and you quickly have to back up and stem and then get back into the fight. It's going to be really nice not having to sit back and wait 10 years for your health to regen. I really applaud Treyarch for going this route. It gives the player much more control over the situations that they'll be in mid-game, and it's something new to the franchise. Now, when I first saw the grappling gun, my reaction wasn't pretty. But then I found out that it was only for Ruin, if he's even still called that, and I was perfectly okay with it. This leads into easily my biggest reason I'm excited for Black Ops 4. Like I said earlier, Black Ops 3 was so damn close to perfection for me, which is a shame because BO1 was as well. If only they had not put Second Chance in the game and redone Ghost, it would have been perfect. This time around, there was no boost jumping, no wall running, none of that crap. Advanced movement has been completely done away with, and I could not be happier about it. For me, personally, it just changed the flow of the type of game that I really enjoy, which is that classic multiplayer first-person shooter, and it made me feel like things were not in my control most of the times because of just how random things could be. There were so many points in BO3 where people would jump completely over my head to the point where I couldn't see them unless I was looking straight up for no reason at all. This was even worse in Advanced Warfare because of just how sudden the advanced movement was. Now, I understand there are a lot of people who enjoy advanced movement, but I am so glad, personally, so glad it's gone. A change to the health was also made. Each player will now have 150 base health, which with a chance, I think, to even get 200 if they have a medic on their team. Also, the medic, I believe, can get up to 300, I believe, if he heals a certain amount of people on his team. Don't quote me on that, but I believe I saw something like that when I was going over some BO4 gameplay videos before. I really love this change as well. I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 3 lately, and I feel like a lot of the times I die insanely fast, which is unusual because Treyarch games have always had the highest time to kill. But the deaths, at least for me in BO3, feel way too quick, and I often don't have the chance to retaliate after being shot.
Hater.
My hater just killed Jake.
Oh my fucking god. It begins already. Rapid fire fucking man of war. Holy shit.
Yeah, fuck you, JD. So I think this new base health of 150 is actually a good thing. It combined with the stim will make for some pretty fun chess matches between players, so I'm looking forward to that. The last thing I feel like I need to touch on quickly is the shotgun as secondaries. Now, this was originally a thing in Modern Warfare 2. But it was insanely overpowered. Like, I mean insanely overpowered. I remember the Spaz 12 wiping me from medium ranges that shotguns should not be excelling at. I remember the early days of the Akimbo models. Those were fucking sniper rifles. So at first this worried me, but Treyarch has to know that if you're offering shotguns as secondaries, they cannot be weapons that can stand on their own. It makes sense to beef them up if they're primaries, but not as secondary options. They have to be toned down significantly to where they're only effective at a range that a shotgun should be. I think they understand this pretty well, which is why I'm not worried about it. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I apologize for it being a little bit long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below on what you thought of the reveal. Are you excited for this new change? Let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. I make weird and goofy videos, so if you like to laugh and have a good time, hit that subscribe button, man. What are you waiting on? I'll give you a big old sloppy llama kiss. Also, if you're already subbed, hit that stupid ass little bell. YouTube likes to engage you guys in a game of hide and seek against my videos, so that way if you hit the bell, you won't miss whenever I upload. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you the next time I upload a video on this website. Goodbye!